Now, this is really disturbing. New research has revealed that 1 in 10 children will be exposed to online pornography by the time they're 9 years old. Well, Baroness Gabby Bertin is hoping to change all of that. She recently published a report into the effects of online porn, and later on today, she's going to be taking her recommendations to Parliament. More power to you. Thank you so much for coming in and for doing this. You yourself were absolutely shocked, weren't you, to see the extent of this?
Yeah, I mean that figure, by the way, is totally heartbreaking.
It's
completely unacceptable and a terrible thing. Yeah, the review just highlighted and exposed how much degrading, abusive, violent pornography that is so easily accessible. Right. And also, I think the really important point to make that the review found was that this is content that would be not allowed offline.
That's very true. You wouldn't be getting that in a magazine, would you?
No.
Or a newspaper, or anything, or a book, or anything like that.
That's right. Or a sex DVD, which is how, obviously, people were watching pornography, and now nobody's doing that. They're watching it online, and yet the restrictions that have been in place for many, many years, for very good reason, are not in place online. And so,
see, this doesn't make any sense at all. We've not kept up with it, have we? That is the trouble.
Yeah, that's right. So one of the key recommendations is saying exactly that we have to get that parity. We have to make the offline law and the online law the same. Right. And I'm hopeful that Peter Carr, when I meet him today, will accept those recommendations.
I mean, the Online Safety Act, which has been hard, campaigned long and hard, kind of doesn't go far enough, though.
No, it doesn't. I mean, we must acknowledge that they're going to bring in age verification, which hopefully will prevent... Because a lot of the 9-year-olds, 11-year-olds, these figures around children encountering pornography, they found it by accident. So we have to hope that age verification will do a good job at preventing that. But I think, whether you're 15 or 55, there is content on mainstream pornography sites and social media as well. We must remember that it's not just those sites that simply nobody should see, and that's the point, that we have to make sure that the stuff that was never to be allowed offline is also not allowed online.
Because it's normalising these terrible things. It's normalising violence, particularly against women.
Yes.
It's normalising sexual practices that I haven't heard of half of them.
I know.
And that's what people think is... young men watching it would be thinking, oh, that's what we do. Learning about sex from these terrible sites.
That's right. You've now got, I think, a really shocking figure around. We found that 38% of young women have been choked. One of the recommendations is that should just be made illegal. Pornography that shows choking and strangulation just should not be allowed. It should be completely, up there with extreme pornography, illegal pornography. And the other heartbreaking thing, and I'm a mother of 2 sons, I think boys are just as much the victims as girls.
Absolutely.
If they've been exposed to this kind of content, they're being given so many confusing messages. Allowing sort of anything goes online in this world is just so damaging, and that has to come to an end.
And also, I think maybe we, as parents, grandparents, or whoever's looking after the child, guardians, we maybe need to have that conversation. We're not very good as a nation talking about sex. We get all silly about it sometimes, and we don't have these conversations. And I think we need to know what our kids are looking at and put them right.
Well, I think one of the issues why this has got out of control and that there hasn't been enough scrutiny of this industry is because there is a taboo around it. So it's not necessarily been an area that government has said, oh, yes, we really want to tackle this, because nobody necessarily wants to talk about it, wants to admit that they know what is actually happening on these sites. Right. And so I think they've allowed to sort of get away with it for too long. And I certainly think there needs to be an external body that is auditing, is properly sort of scrutinising and checking that the content that's on there, is, I guess, ethical.
Well, the thing is, once kids go down this rabbit hole and they start looking at this stuff, of course, the algorithm just means they're going to get more and more and more of it. Yeah. That's the trouble, isn't it? Once you sort of open up to that, it's horrifying. Yeah, and I don't think we know the half of it.
No, well,
you do, sadly. You've had to look at it, but the rest of us don't.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely the right thing to say, is that we are probably quite unaware of it, and obviously my team do know about it, and that's why we're just going to fight this so hard, because I just think inaction, especially from a government that quite rightly, and I back them all the way, has been elected to halve violence against women and girls over the next 10 years. You have to take preventative action. You cannot allow this kind of content just to be freely available.
Well, you're going to Westminster Day, aren't you, later on today? What are you hoping for? And also, what can we do? Because I know there's going to be mums and grandmothers and parents watching this today thinking, oh, my God, what can I do?
Well, I think that you know, I'm hoping today that there's going to be a positive meeting. You know, certainly the signals from government. We have people like Jess Phillips, Alex Davis-Jones.
Yeah.
You know, they feel passionately about this. They know that this is an issue. So I'm hopeful that they will not be dragged to this kicking and screaming. But I think, you know, if it is becoming the point where they're saying, well, actually, we can't do this for X, Y, and Z, I don't accept that. You know, I've worked in government. I've given them a set of recommendations that are completely workable and actually use the laws that are already in place. It's simply uplifting those laws. So I think, you know, I'll be back on if...
oh, please, you must.
If they don't do this.
100% behind you. I hope that you are pushing against an open door.
Yeah.
You know, I really hope that. We do have a statement. A government spokesperson has told us further action needed to address the review's shocking findings. That's encouraging. And graphic strangulation is increasingly appearing in pornography despite being illegal and is becoming normalised, which is just what we've been talking about. And what they go on to say is we will urgently ensure that platforms, law enforcement and prosecutors take all necessary steps to tackle this disturbing harm. So they are with us. Yeah. Certainly that would seem to be, but obviously you need to get in there and make sure that this is going to happen.
And I think speed is of the essence. You know, we've had sort of 10, 15 years of this going on, and I
don't kick it down the road.
Exactly.
We can't. Right. It's too important, Gabby, for that to happen. Like I said, more power to you. Keep in touch with us, and obviously we're very supportive of this.
Thank you very much for having me on.
It's crazy. Hi there. Thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. We upload new videos every single day. So click here if you're interested in this video, or head to the homepage for more amazing content.